Maybe you're a little bit nervous about what it's going to be like when you vote for the first time. So to help you understand what it's like, we are going to be talking to a first-time voter who cast her vote in the 2021 election for the very first time. So maybe you can relate to her situation. Welcome. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit where you're from.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I am Kalpita and I am from India. So I am a non-EU voter.
Relatable.
Yeah. In 2021, I had a surprise in my mailbox and I had the Val card, the voting card in my mailbox. And until then, I had no idea that I could do this and that I was eligible to vote because, of course, being a non-EU, there are a lot of things you can and cannot do in Denmark. So voting was a big surprise.
Yeah.
And my husband's Danish, so he was very kind to take me through the drill of, okay, this is how it is. You get a voting card and then they tell you where you can go and cast your vote and I will come with you and we will do it together. That meant to me that both of us go and do it together, which didn't work out that way, obviously.
What was it like when you arrived?
Chaotic in some sense because there were a lot of people. Not chaotic that it wasn't organized, of course, we're in Denmark, so it was like very, very streamlined. But it also was a bit strange because there were so many people, everyone was queuing, and there were just these box-like kiosks or something with curtains around, and that didn't make sense at all. Because where I come from, we basically vote in a room where you just get to put your paper in a box, and there's no covering, no nothing. More or less, everybody could actually see what you're doing, but you just go one person after another. Fairly crowded room, but this wasn't. This was very organized. There were volunteers, I suppose teachers or party members that sat down and, looked through your name. They gave you a really long paper and you could go into this room or makeshift room and cast your vote. And that was pretty much it.
Wow. When you were greeted and when you went through the process, was there any difficulty with the language for you?
No, they were very accommodating, actually. Okay. Although I did not really understand so much Danish, but I did a little bit of, okay, welcome, and, what's your name, and can I have your card or whatever. So that was not a problem, although they were very, very open to speaking English because there were many others that were voting non-Danish speaking people as well. So they were very accommodating of English-speaking people. I mean, it's just, hi, what's your name, and do you have your card or ID with you? And then they just hand you the paper, and that's pretty much it.
Sure. So it's pretty simple. It's like going to the Netto and checking out.
Yeah,
pretty transactional.
Yeah, precisely. I don't think it's really that difficult to do it. Although the process may vary from country to country, I think, because what I'm used to is different to what actually happens here. So that was new.
Sure. Exactly. If you're not used to the system, it can be interesting to figure out what happens when you actually go to a voting center to cast your vote. What was going through your head when you voted for the first time in Denmark in a local election?
To be very honest, I was very confused, at the same time overwhelmed. Confused because I didn't really have so much information of what the parties were, who was who. You have these posters all over town, which is extremely overwhelming of, red, green, blue posters, very handsome, pretty faces on it. Maybe if you're lucky, there's a name. Again, if you're going around town, there are so many faces and names to remember. It's just impossible. It's also a bit difficult for me to understand what party stands for what, because I'm a complete novice at politics. I do not get how it works, what's in and out of it, democracy, no democracy, any of that. Also, I think politics is very complicated. But in Denmark, I found out that it's fairly simple. There are a few parties, which I all discovered after the election because I realized that, okay, I really need to take this seriously. I do enjoy being a responsible citizen. I take pride in voting. But I think I can do a better job this time, being better informed and, reading up, and our podcast as well.
Yeah. So, of course, you mentioned the placards, the faces that are all over town, and I think there was an election the year before that. So we see these placards go up and down, and there's elections that we may not be able to vote in because we are non-EU or non-citizens here in Denmark. And then, of course, every 4 years, we do have the local and regional elections that we can vote in. It's tough to know, oh, this is one that I'm actually going to participate in. And then you just get this card in the mail that tells you you can vote and where to go. But then at that point, you need to decide, who am I going to vote for? What's important to me? What issues are they deciding at this level? And who are all these parties? How do I do it? So what did you do at that point? Of course, you researched some things afterward. Can you tell us a little bit about how you decided who you would vote for and then what you decided to learn more about afterwards?
A bit embarrassing, actually, if I have to be honest. I wasn't that informed, but there was this very controversial guy becoming popular at that time with his opinions on immigration and internationals being in Denmark and a bit about religion and stuff like that, which caught everybody's attention at that point in time. And that's where I learned about these different parties in Denmark. Too late in the game though, but I did get to know, at least by name, that there was a Liberal Alliance or there was Venstre or whatever else. And after I got this voting card, my husband announced that he has never voted as a Danish citizen. And that shocked me. That became a very serious thing for me. I was like, no, okay, I am going to do this and you're going to come with. Not because he doesn't think it's a serious thing or anything, but he by choice does not vote. So that was a new thing for me as well, to find out that I can actually not vote. I was talking to somebody over the weekend as well and asking them how their experience was. They said that they've been living here as an international for many years and they by choice as well have not voted. So even if you get a card, you do have that choice, which wasn't a choice for me. It was obvious, like, I mean, why would I not? For me, it's a right I need to exercise. And then I had conversations with my husband because he understood the whole process and the parties and who stands for what and stuff. And in fact, he showed me that you could go on YouTube or have this live stream of some sort of what happens in the parliament. Of course, they all speak in Danish. But it was very interesting to know that you could actually participate in all the discussions that are going on and sort of be abreast with what's going on in your country and in the parliament and the issues I stand for. So for sure, at that point in time, immigration became a topic for me and being an international and my rights as well. And that started with actually giving my vote, which I don't think was not a well-thought choice. But I think this time I would be better able because I am making an effort to understand more and what each candidate or party has done. And I think I'll be a lot more confident in my choice this time.
That's great. So, of course, you research the parties, what they stand for, and you don't have to tell us anything too detailed in particular about your personal political beliefs, but what issues did you take it upon yourself to research or to find out what the parties were thinking, and what advice would you have for somebody listening who may not know where to start themselves?
I would first say that find out if you are eligible. You can go on boa.dk, which is a citizen service online. Yeah. Find out if you are eligible. Over there you have this, I think, communal and regional elections, and then it'll tell you if you're eligible or not. So it's not a surprise like it was for me 2-3 months down the line that you can do this. But it's better to be informed in advance. Then you have that much time to educate yourself on what's what and what's not. When I came in here, I was told that there are about 300 candidates, so that's a lot of people to sift through.
And that's just in the Copenhagen Kommune?
Precisely. Just 300 in Copenhagen, so I can only imagine on the others, yeah. The way I went about it was to find out what party I really resonated with, who stands for what. Luckily, there is information out there in English, but you could also listen to our podcast. We have some incredible people coming in and topics which will educate people on that. And then find out what candidate is someone you really think is going to give you what you want out of this election. It's also a bit complicated of how that vote then results into maybe the mayor position or whoever else that gets elected. So maybe that complication you should make friends, ask someone for a coffee and understand from someone local. You can also actually, I found out, that talk directly to candidates. You can email them. You can also talk to party members and directly with people from the party that you're interested in. So if you don't want to go and talk to anybody, just call them up, or you can also email them. So that's the thing I love most about Denmark, is like you could just have direct contact to absolutely anybody over here. It's brilliant.
It's so accessible to
Yeah,
get
exactly.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's really how you find your information. Social media is great as well. There are groups on Facebook that will help you. I wouldn't say TikTok is the best right now. There's a lot of lack of information over there, but
Sure.
Facebook, maybe Instagram. But I would insist that you directly call them. I mean, you're a stranger, they're never going to remember you. So, just do it.
Yeah. And they may be representing you, so it's nice to know.
Yeah, precisely. And you never know. You actually might make friends with these people, and you are in and out of that friend circle with coffees and all kinds of.
Yeah, that would definitely be a nice result.
Yeah, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Like, you're in Denmark as an international, and you have a politician who's a friend of
Yeah,
yours.
that's the kind of friends you need.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like it was something that maybe you were a little confused about, but maybe wasn't too scary for you. But some people may be feeling intimidated, or they don't know if they can handle the process. I think you gave us some great insights for the questions that I hear a lot, which is, hey, I don't speak Danish. I don't really know what these parties are. I didn't grow up here. I may not even stay here, for the whole rest of my life or into my retirement. But it sounds like there are definitely things that people have a responsibility to do from your point of view, that people really should be part of this process.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even if you're here for a temporary period of time, your temporary vote also counts, because you are contributing to the bigger picture, especially as an international.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very important. By the way, did you know that Denmark has a turnout of almost 80 to 90% for every elections? But it's internationals that do not vote. So I think it's very important
Much
that
lower.
we do
I think
that.
it's,
It's about 50,
it's as
60%,
low
I
as,
think. Yeah.
It's super low. So it's
Yeah.
it's nice that you're able to kind of share your story of your first time, and hopefully kind of quell some of those fears, confusions, anxieties that people may have about going out to vote for the very first time. If somebody's on the fence, if they're not sure, maybe they're coming up with some of the same excuses I did, whether it's the language, their lack of information. You've given everybody, I think, the right tips, like, hey, they'll help you and accommodate you. There are places you can go to learn about these parties. It's your responsibility to do so. If somebody's still on the fence, what would you say? If you have 60 seconds right now to convince somebody, hey, you have to go vote, what would you tell them right now?
Oh, gosh. Call me. You could start there. I would say, even if you don't want to vote, go there in person, see how it is. And maybe that encourages you. I cannot force anyone to go and vote, because I totally respect that choice of not doing it. But you not doing it is also contributing to the bigger picture, which is not working in your favor or working in the international's favor. At the same time, if it is that overwhelming, just go there. Take a partner, take a friend. It doesn't matter if you're not in your particular center, as long as you cast your vote. But also educate yourself, get information. It's fine if you don't vote now, maybe you do it next year, but start that process, because it's important. There's a reason why there's a democracy, and you are part of it.
So well said, because no matter what, you're going to be affected by it, so you may as well take part in it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, telling us a little bit more about what it's like when you do go to vote for the first time. And hopefully we'll get more people out to vote for their first time, or the old pros that are going to be inspired by your story too. So thank you so much, Kalpita.
Thank you for having me.